We're going to be talking about my 5th grade curriculum choices for the 2019-2020 school year. If you have not watched my video yet on why I am choosing the curriculum that I did this year, why we're doing things a little bit differently than we have been doing in years past, make sure to go watch that video, especially if you are familiar with me and my channel. You might start wondering, why are you changing things up that you said were working so well? Long story short is just our finances changed. My husband got laid off, and so we had to kind of shrink our homeschool budget significantly and figure out some creative ways to do things a little bit differently. But as I said in that video, I can see the hand of God and His sovereignty in all of it, in helping me to choose curriculum that I wouldn't have normally considered, but I can see is going to be a real blessing to my whole family, and specifically for my 5th grader, since this is the 5th grade curriculum choice video. So first off, let's look at Bible. My up-and-coming 5th grader gets up in the morning and has his own time in the Word, his own Bible study time or quiet time or devotional time, whatever you call it, but he gets up and has his own time in the Word, and what he is using for that is exploring the Bible. And it is a Bible reading plan for kids, taking them through Genesis all the way through Revelation. And it's really easy and simple for him to do. It has a Bible passage that he looks up and a question for him to answer. So he is doing that for his own kind of Bible study time in the morning. If you want to know more about this, I did do a video where I shared a little bit more about how this Bible study curriculum for kids works. So you can go check out that video. I will link it down below. But he is doing that for his own Bible time. For actual Bible curriculum that we're doing for school, that is something that for the younger ones, I teach on my own during lunchtime. My older kids join in, but for kind of elementary age, I teach the Bible curriculum to my kids at lunchtime, and I am hoping to put together a whole course on how that works, because I've had a lot of questions about what do we do. I kind of have a method that I followed for years on how to teach my kids the stories of the Bible, to teach them theology, Bible memorization, and about prayer. And so hopefully, Lord willing, that course will be coming out here pretty soon. But that is what he is going to be doing for Bible. He does this for devotions in the morning on his own, and then we are going through our own Bible curriculum that I teach at lunchtime. For math, he is going to be going with BJU Press Distance Learning Math 5. We have been using this for several years, and this math curriculum is working so well for him, especially through the distance learning program. He's getting some great instruction on the videos, and so we're going to continue with that. This is the one kind of splurge that I made in our homeschool budget, was getting him the math through the distance learning program. So he'll be doing Math 5 from BJU. For spelling, my son is going to continue to be doing the Spell to Write and Read program. This is the kind of teacher's manual, and this is the book called The Wise Guide for Spelling. It has all the spelling lists in there. And what I love about this is really all I need, a few other things to teach all of my kids spelling. I don't have to buy a new level every single year. This has lists for kindergarten all the way up through college age. And so we're just going to be picking up where we left off and continuing to work through that for spelling. Well, when it comes to reading, this was a little tricky because, like I said, our budget was really small. So what I decided to do for reading is we are going to finish up BJU Press Distance Learning Reading 3. Even though last year he was in 4th grade, he did Reading 3. Great thing about homeschooling, we do not have to put our kids in the grade level that they're supposed to be in. We can put them where they need to be so that they can be moving at their own pace. And so he needed to be in the level 3 last year. We are almost done with this. I think we'll be able to finish it up probably certainly before December, probably in the first few months of our 5th grade homeschool year. We already had it. We already have access to the distance learning videos through December 31st. It just didn't seem like a good use of my money to go buy something else when we already had something that we could be finishing up. So we're going to finish this up And then I have boxes full of reading curriculum from BJU Press, from Abeka, from other curriculum companies. And so I am just going to start, when he finishes this, I'm just going to start pulling things out for him to read and for us to work through from my tubs. And we will just kind of piece reading curriculum together for the rest of 5th grade. And like I said, I have a lot of resources. So I don't exactly know, excuse me, I don't exactly know what particular resources we're going to use. It kind of depends on how quickly we move through this. And then, sorry, and then we'll just kind of do what interests him, what I have that is at his reading level and that interests him. So that's what we're going to do for reading. We're just going to piece it together, and I think he's actually going to enjoy it probably more than he normally does because he's going to get a lot of input into it and there's going to be a lot of variety. So that's what we're doing for reading. English is another one that was kind of had to be pieced together. We didn't really have, again, the money to go out and buy a brand new English curriculum. So we are going to be finishing up English 3 from BJU Press, Distance Learning. He'll probably be able to finish this up by December 31st when our video access ends. We took a pause. The reason we have actually still quite a bit of this left is we took a pause from this and tried out towards the end of last year language lessons for a living education from Master Books. So we kind of put this on hold and started working through their level 4. The reason I did that was while the BJU Press distance learning videos were working really well, my son was making progress in them, he was starting to just dread English, and it really wasn't the program necessarily. It was just the amount of work. And so I thought I need something a little bit lighter that isn't so much work for him to do. And obviously we were already cutting things out and all of that. That's a whole nother story. But we went and got this language lessons for a living education level 4 and started working through this. So what we're going to do next year is we're going to kind of make this the priority to finish it since we only have access to December 31st. And then we will just, finish up working through this one as well. And if we happen to finish early, then I will make a decision on what we're going to do for English for the rest of 5th grade. Honestly, we might just say, hey, we finished 2 things. We're done. We are good for 5th grade. So these were what he was doing in 4th grade, and we are just going to continue plugging through them and making progress in them. Obviously, if I think we get to a point where I'm just going, this is way too easy for him and he needs something more challenging, then I will, come back and relook at things. Obviously, our budget has a lot to do with that. What can we actually afford? Is there maybe a way that I could add a little bit more into what we already have? Do I need to just buy another curriculum for him later on in the year? I don't know. But this is what we are going with for now. And, again, another blessing of homeschooling is we evaluate, right? And we see the progress that our kids are making. We see if we need to speed things up, make things more challenging, slow things down. So I'm just going to be keeping an eye on that this next year for my 5th grader, and we'll see what happens. But that's what we're going to start with for English. When it comes to history, I am super excited and my kids are really excited. We are going to be using a Heart for You China from Cornerstone Curriculum. This is the teacher's manual and this is the student workbook. I'm actually going to be doing this curriculum with a 3rd grader, my 5th grader, a 7th grader, including my kindergartner and my 3-year-old in it as well. So my 3rd grader, 5th grader, and 7th grader will all have their own workbook to work through, but we're going to be just doing this together as a family, and I'm really excited. It actually covers more than history. It covers Bible, history, geography, literature, Chinese language, Chinese culture, Bible translation, and copywork. It is a literature-based Charlotte Mason type curriculum, and this is kind of the curriculum that I used, this type of literature-based Charlotte Mason type thing many years ago. I've been homeschooling over 15 years, so many years ago we were using a similar type of homeschool method, I guess, to homeschool where we were all together and we were reading literature and learning through kind of living books. So I'm excited to be able to do that again with my kids. I'm going to be honest to say I have a little tiny bit of anxiety. I don't know if it's really anxiety, but just kind of that thought of, can I really do this? Because my kids have been doing so much independent work the last few years, and I haven't really had to do a whole lot of teaching. And now I'm going to be doing a whole lot of teaching because this is what we're doing for history. We're all going to be learning together, and we're also going to be doing that for science. So this is what he's going to be doing for history. Let me show you what we're going to do for science. For science, we are all going to be learning together again as well with Science in the Beginning by Dr. J.L. Weil. This is a curriculum that I have used in the past and loved it. I did several kids together in this years ago and have always been looking forward to using it again. And since I already had it, so it didn't cost me any money, it was like, this is a great thing to be using this year. So my 5th grader is going to do this, also my 7th grader and 3rd grader. The kindergartner will be sitting in on it, and so will my 3-year-old. And so my 5th grader will not be doing the extra lessons in here. Let me show you. Let me see if I can get to the table of contents. So if you can see on the table of contents here, there in black are different lessons. Those are just the normal lessons that we will all be doing together. In red are kind of bonus, more advanced lessons. Those are what my 7th grader is going to do. My 5th grader is just going to be doing the black lessons that we're going to all do together. But what he's going to be doing that's going to be different than what my 3rd grader does is he's going to be having to do the activities and he's going to have to do the activities that are at the end of each chapter. Actually, they're not called activities, they're called lesson review. So he's going to be having to do those, where my 3rd grader, I'm not going to require her to always do all of those. So I'm excited that totally shaking the camera. I'm excited that we're going to be able to do this all together, but still a little nervous. Can I actually get around to teaching all of this with a 3-year-old underfoot? I'm going to have to put into practice a lot of the things that I'm going to be teaching you in my upcoming course about how to homeschool big kids with little ones underfoot. So it's going to be a very exciting year. I think it's really going to be a fun year for us as we are learning together. My 5th grader is going to be learning together with an older sibling and younger siblings. So that is what he's doing for science. The only other subject that I didn't talk about is handwriting, and the Heart for You China, so this one right here, has copywork in it. And so that is going to be our handwriting practice, is as he's doing the copywork, that will be his handwriting practice. I'll have him do some of the copywork in print and some of them in cursive just to be able to practice and work on both of those. So that's what he's going to be doing for handwriting. Anyways, that is everything that my 5th grader is going to be doing. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you again really soon.